Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Well, the clouds are still here, but the rain has stopped, and we are ready for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Hyundai Sunday game of the week, the final game of a now brief two-game set between the Yankees and the Rays. As we say, hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside Paul O'Neill. So happy to be with you this Sunday afternoon for Yankees baseball on Yes. The rain has essentially stopped. We get baseball this afternoon. We dive right into it now with the pitching matchup. The Home Depot working on a win pitching matchup. Drew Rasmussen has been a Yankee killer through the years, having another outstanding season. Ryan Weathers, Paul, has been a really nice find for the Yankees in that rotation.
Well, he gives the rotation, the bounce back of right-handed left-handers. All of a sudden, he's become a strikeout pitcher. He did this with the Marlins, but they brought him over. All of a sudden, he's third in the American League in strikeouts. Overpowering fastball, great breaking ball, which he's using much more this year. No run support whatsoever in his four starts, so that's why he's only 2-2. But again, done an unbelievable job so far.
You take a look at the leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers, and this is what Paul's talking about. Weathers third in the American League in strikeout percentage. Cam Schlittler fifth on that list. Well, right now, you're wondering, who's it short today? Is it Jose Caballero? Is it Anthony Volpe? Our Meredith Morakovitz has that answer. And Aaron Boone's thoughts on the decision next here on Yes.
Welcome back to the Bronx for the series finale between the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Morakovitz. Jose Caballero is in the starting lineup at shortstop for the second consecutive game since coming off the injured list. When I spoke to Aaron Boone on Friday, he told me both Caballero and Volpe were going to play at short. So today I asked him what goes into the daily decision as to whether he goes with Jose Caballero or Anthony Volpe.
Just kind of looking at the matchup, wanting both to be successful. I expect Anthony to play a lot this when we go to Kansas City, as well as Cabby, and you could see Cabby in some other spots when we go to Kansas City. But today against Rasmussen, this is kind of the way I wanted to go.
And Anthony Volpe will be available off the bench. Aaron Boone also said he started taking some reps at second base on Friday, so that potentially could be an option in the future. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Ryan Weathers gets the ball. First pitch next on Yes.
Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by FanDuel. All customers can choose the exclusive reward they want to use on their bets for all the MLB action. By Tunnel to Towers, donate $11 a month and amplify your impact. With a car or land donation, go to T2T.org. And by Nissan, hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. Well, the rain is still here a little bit, as evidenced by our camera, the windshield wiper cleaning it.
I'm looking out there, I don't see rain. I never thought we'd be starting this game on time. I'm a little nervous here. I don't know if I'm ready for this yet.
You had accounted for an extra 60 to 90 minutes mentally.
I even left the house late today thinking I got a couple extra.
Yeah. Well, the rain, it's held up enough that we are starting this one on time. The ponchos are out, the hoods are up, but baseball is about to be played. As we take a look at the Rays starting lineup, Yandy Diaz will lead off. Aranda, Caminero, such a dangerous trio there at the top. Chandler Simpson slides down to fifth. He has given the Yankees fits this season. And Carson Williams, who has been one of the top prospects in baseball for a few years running, rounds out that Rays starting lineup. And on the mound for the Yankees, Ryan Weathers, you see his numbers on the season. Let's check out the Nissan Pitchers Scouting Report.
Well, take a seat. We talked about it in the pregame. Weathers is third in the American League in strikeout percentage, 29.9%. Dylan Cease leads at 35%. You're a little too young for this, Mike. Brian, second time around, that'd be Shalimar. That's an old man. Only his second career start against the Rays, and the other one was for the Marlins. Didn't go real well. He gave up 4 runs in only 3 innings. And go ahead and try. Rays love to be aggressive on the base pass, but Weathers is not giving up a stolen base all year. Good to be a lefty on the mound.
Let's take a look at the defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Bellinger, Grisham, Judge across the outfield. McMahon, Caballero on the left side. Chisholm, Goldschmidt on the right side. Wells, who homered the other night, behind the plate to catch Ryan Weathers. Taking a look at the umpire scouting report, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Doug Eddings, pitcher friendly. 25 of 40 overturned this year on the ABS challenges with him behind the plate in his 29th season. He is the crew chief.
Well, Coney said, you know by the scouting report of the umpires what they were in high school. So Doug Eddings obviously was a pitcher. Friendly.
That's right. Oh, yeah. The anemometer whipping there from the wind. Top of the stadium. It's a chilly day for late May. Early, low 50s. It's supposed to get a little warmer as the day goes on, though.
Chilly day for early December. It's freezing up there.
First pitch swinging at Diaz, pops it up. Goldschmidt fighting the mist, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's a good way to start for Ryan Weathers.
Yeah, obviously both teams, no batting practice. You hit under the cage. It's just all of a sudden you come out, you get loose. It's like, wow, here I am, game time. First pitch, 1 out.
In game time after a rainout yesterday, that game will be made up as part of a split admission doubleheader in September when the Rays come back. Here's Aranda. And he will take a strike the whole way, 0-1. Aaron Boone was saying today he actually feels like the rainout came at a good time. That day off, he feels like was useful for his group.
Well, a lot of times it's when you play a certain team. And right now, the Rays are as hot as the hottest team in baseball. And, you know, the Yankees struggling a little bit. I mean, a rainout where you can postpone a game for a different time of the year, you're right, might not be a bad thing.
The Rays have won 22 of their last 26 games. And strike 3, painted with a 4-seamer 95.
A little challenge here.
And Aranda will challenge it. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
That is confirmed. Tampa has 1 more challenge.
Wow. No, that's worth a challenge if I'm a hitter. I mean, that is so close. What a perfect pitch. 95 right on the outside corner. You know what's funny, though? If that's called a ball, I doubt. I mean, I doubt that Wells would challenge it.
Such a good point. Yeah. I mean, that is painting as close to the black as you possibly can while still catching it. And so now the Rays down to just 1 challenge for the remainder of the game. There's Caminero. Fouls that away.
Well, it's not only important for a pitcher to, you know, get his feet wet and, get through the first inning, but when you look at Diaz, Aranda, Caminero, I mean, that's the majority of their offense.
Yeah.
So getting through the first inning is extremely important when those guys are leading off.
And 1-2 now on Caminero. Weathers has thrown 7 pitches, 6 of them strikes. The 1-2 from Weathers. Grounded up the middle and into center field, a base hit for Caminero. Able to fight that one off. a 96-mile-an-hour four-seamer and a 2-out base runner for Tampa Bay.
Well, Caminero, there, he's the big power hitter in the lineup. You see how strong he is. That ball in off the handle of the bat, but muscles it right up the middle. He really just pulls his hands in to get somewhat of the barrel on it.
Here is Ryan Valade taking a ball, 1-0. Good numbers on the season for Valade. Made the team out of spring training to get starts against lefties like this. As he fouls that back.
Time and time again, Ryan, you're kind of reminded. You don't really get the full when you're watching the game on TV. I walked by Valade. He was warming up in the tunnel right outside the way. Huge.
Yeah.
Like a football player.
Right.
Just forget how big some of these players are.
Foul back here. Yeah, can't fully appreciate it just looking at him standing in the box. That means you got to check out those locks in person too, flowing out the back of the helmet from Valade.
Yeah, without a helmet on, you can tell. You know, he's still in the youth of his life where he can sport that.
Caminero leads off first, the 1-2. Fouled straight back. Rays are the toughest team in baseball to strike out.
Yeah, their team average. I mean, when you break down the way they play the game, their team average is high 260s, 266, 267. I mean, there's the majority of teams in baseball don't even have one or two players that hit over 267.
Exactly. And that one misses down and in, 2-2. The 2-2. Tap foul. Valade battling here.
Seldom you see. I mean, that was 96 up on his hands, and then followed it up with a breaking ball there and a good one. That he fouled both of them off. It's very hard as a hitter to stay on both velocity.
Seventh pitch of the at bat upcoming. And a full count now with 2 outs means Caminero will be off. The 3-2. Strike 3 got him looking. Second strikeout of a scoreless first for Weathers.
Sunday lineup presented by Hexclad.
Yeah, HTV Pride softball team from Greenlawn, New York. We are proud to present today's Yankees starting lineup. Batting first, playing center field, number 12, Kurt Grisham. Batting second, playing right field, number 99, Aaron Judge. Batting third, the DH, number 22, Ben Rice. Batting fourth, playing left field, number 35, Cody Bellinger. Batting fifth, playing first base, number 48, Paul Goldschmidt. Batting sixth, playing second base, number 13, Jazz Chisholm. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, number 32, Jose Caballero. Batting eighth, playing third base, number 19, Ryan McMahon. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 28, Austin Wells. Today's starting pitcher, number 40, Ryan Weathers. Let's go Yankees!
Oh, thanks to HTV Rise from Greenlawn, New York. Did a terrific job with the Sunday starting lineup there. Taking us into Trent Grisham leading off the bottom of the first in a scoreless game between the Yankees and the Rays. You see the numbers for Drew Rasmussen, who is having another really strong season. As we check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, you mentioned it, how good he is. Top of the list. Get this, since 2021, he leads all the American League in ERA at 2.78. And Lowrider, you're probably a little young for this one, too. That's an old band called War. You remember that song, Lowrider?
Yeah.
Against the Yankees, career 1.03 ERA, which is the lowest of any pitcher with 5 starts since they started that back in 1913. And look, fastball, you've seen a few of them. Almost 80% of his pitches, sinker, cutter, or 4-seam fastball. You don't know Lowrider?
No, Lowrider I know. And this is the thing about music. You know, you don't have to be around and alive or in that time to still hear it, right? Like, I'm a huge Beatles fan. I didn't catch them live.
Well, you know what?
The
You catch
catcher
these
challenged
on
the ball.
old AM radio because they don't even have it anymore.
All right, another challenge here, and
The pitch is a strike. Strike 3. Tampa has 1 challenge left.
this one the Rays get correct after missing one offensively in the top of the first. Let's take a look at the defense brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. And Chandler Simpson, the Car Shield defensive player profile, which we will check out in just a moment as Aaron Judge steps in to adoring cheers per usual and rips that to left field. That will end an 0 for 15 skid for Aaron Judge. Smoked a ball deep to left center, his final at bat on Friday, and starts today with a single, as you see the Car Shield defensive player profile on Chandler Simpson, who had to go retrieve that single from Judge.
Yeah, you usually equate speed with great defensive ability, and you see last year he was below average in the outfield. This year much above average, so he's made big strides out there.
Rice rips that to right. In the tracks of Valade. I don't know if Judge just didn't track it. He's in trouble, and he is out. Boy, Aaron Judge just wandered way too far from first for a ball hit right at Valade, and he is doubled up to end the first. So the good news, Judge snaps the 0 for 15. The bad news, he makes a blunder on the bases. Yankees doubled off, and the inning is over. No score, top of the second. Yankees in the Rays. Second game of what is now just a 2-game set because of the rain out yesterday, and Weathers deals a strike. Aaron Judge doubled off on the line out from Rice to end the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it just a mental error. You never see Aaron Judge really make mental errors.
Yeah.
I mean, he make errors once in a while, but this was just, and you've got the numbers, Ryan. He just flip flops every once in a while from second to third in the right. I think sometimes you get up and you're like, all right, nobody's on. Maybe there's 2 out. I forgot how many outs there were.
Right, 34 times he's batted second, 19 he's batted third. So you're thinking maybe he's thinking he was hitting third and there was 2 outs, nobody on.
And then, because I mean, he just flat out realized right there, you're out. I mean, that wasn't even a good throw.
Right, and that ball was right at Valade the whole time. It's not like, he was tracking it down. That was clearly in his tracks from the time it was off the bat.
Well hit by Rice, but you just knew off the bat that it was at the right field.
Fly ball, center field. Grisham makes the catch.
You see the ball, see the wind. I mean, it's cool, it's cold, and the wind's blowing in. This ball is really going to be affected. You're going to have to get it today to get it out of here.
There it is. I know, Paul, you had to leave the suit jacket on. Usually you got the jacket off, the sleeves pulled up, the forearms are popping, but
yeah, my last thing is if it's freezing. It's really cold.
I mean, even this, look at that twisting act. Grisham could not track it with the way that turned, and it's a double for Fortes.
And sometimes you hit the ball so square that it kind of knuckles. You see, he took off and he turned the wrong way, and then he couldn't find it. There wasn't enough height under the ball for him to relocate it and make a play on it. But yeah, just a couple weird things here going on early in the game, and Weathers thinking the same thing. You just don't see Grisham do that very often.
No. And again, this is not the team you want to make these mistakes against. We saw it the other night where one error and then one play that could have been made in the 8th inning helped lead to 4 runs in the Rays' comeback win. Tampa Bay 9-1 in 1-run games this season. They are 4-0 against the Yankees. Those 4 games have been decided by a total of 6 runs.
The only problem is you can't, I mean, it's early, obviously. You've played them 4 times. You've lost all 4 games. And you remember what happened last year. They lost the tiebreaker to the Blue Jays because they didn't play well head-to-head. So you don't want to start getting beat up by, the team ahead of you in the division.
Weathers has looked sharp early. 1-2 pitch coming from Weathers. Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout for Ryan Weathers. Got him with a changeup 2 away.
With the emergence of his good breaking ball going into righties, it makes his changeup so much more effective because it's going away from a lefty. Now you've got two quadrants of the plate to really cover off speed if you're a right-handed hitter.
Here's Cedric Mullins, who has turned his season around of late. 341 over his last 12 games after he had hit 131 his first 31 games.
He's had a solid career as ex-all-star player. He went over to the Mets last year at the trade deadline and hit like 130.
Yeah,
and he just never got it going until like a month ago. He started off this year the same way, but he is a solid major league player.
Ahead in the count, 2-0 here on Weathers. There's a strike with the slider. 2-1. Weathers throwing the slider more this season, the sinker significantly more, the 4-seamer less, changeup a little less. Popped up mile high into shallow right. Judge tracking it, makes the catch to end the inning. So Weathers through 2 scoreless, no score at the stadium as we head to the bottom of the 2nd.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Garrett Cole was dialed in on Friday night in his return to the mound. He pitched 6 scoreless innings against the Rays, and after the game, he told me it was kind of like riding a bike. At times, it felt like he had been away for a while, but at some point in time during that start, it just felt normal. He felt like everything was coming out of his hand well. Command maybe not exactly where he wanted, but all things considered, for the first time out there, Cole was pleased with his performance. Now, I caught up with him today in the clubhouse, guys, to ask him how he's recovering, how he's doing, and he said it's a normal recovery. The arm feels like it should feel at this point in time. So all signs positive when it comes to Garrett Cole. Now, Cole is scheduled to pitch in the final game of the Kansas City series on Wednesday, so he will pitch on regular rest. But with the rain out, it's going to be Will Warren tomorrow, followed by Cam Schlittler, then Cole. Carlos Rodon has some extra rest. There's an off day for the Yankees on Thursday. Then Rodon will get the ball for the series opener in Sacramento come Friday. Ryan?
Well, thank you very much, Meredith. And I know Garrett Cole wasn't the only ace that you had a chance to catch up with as Bellinger flies out to left for the first out here in the 2nd. Meredith, you caught up with Fried as well. A little information on him and how he's going.
I did. He walked into the clubhouse about a half hour after it opened today and asked him how he was doing. He said his arm feels a lot better. They're expecting him to go for some imaging this week to see if he could progress to throwing and starting that throwing program. But he was actually out on the field the other day doing some PFPs, but he was not yet cleared to throw, Ryan, so he was using his glove to try to throw to first base. But he seemed encouraged. He'll stay back here in New York as the team leaves for this road trip to Kansas City and Sacramento. So hopefully some good news for Fried and Giancarlo Stanton, who's also supposed to have some imaging on his cap this week. If that goes well, he'll progress to a running program, and then after that, the Yankees don't think it should be too much longer for Giancarlo Stanton.
All right, thank you very much, Meredith. Looking forward to the day of having Fried and Cole in that rotation, Paul.
I was just thinking the same thing when you said, or Meredith said Cole and then Rodon gets in. I mean, just to have those names in the rotation where, when those guys get to be 100%, no handles on them, you got an opportunity to win every single day with good pitching like that.
Goldschmidt fights that off. Rasmussen is so tough against righties. First in the majors in batting average against with right-handers since the start of last season, as Goldschmidt check swings that one to first, 2 away. They play FanDuel's daily dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players.
Well, Randy, I just got an important text here from a friend down in Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to keep track of how many times you call Ryan Michael versus how many times the ball is challenged. At this time, it's 1-1, right? They lost a challenge, and I've called you Michael.
That's right. That's right. All right, so it's an even game. Fans can play along at home as well for the rest of the game.
New tricks for an old dog's kind of tough,
I get it. You had to turn down your headset on Friday.
Yes.
Now you're reverting back to the other name. I get it. One. Chisholm grounds that into right field, a base hit. Chisholm has gotten it going of late. Entered this one hitting .441 over his last 9 games and has a single in his first bat today.
Yeah, swinging the bat a lot better, and it started about a week ago when he hit a ball off the left field foul pole where, he's not trying to pull everything out of the ballpark. The Jazz has got good bat speed, hits the ball hard, and how you would love to see that speed get part of his game again. 12 stolen bases on the year, and we talked in game 1 on the Rays' challenges as far as throwing out base runners.
There goes Chisholm, right on cue, Paul. There you go. A stolen base for Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Yeah, I think the Rays are going to have to do something because, they've just given up unbelievable numbers stolen base-wise, percentage-wise. And, that's their game, putting pressure on the defense. So there's no reason the other teams shouldn't be doing the same thing.
13th stolen base for Chisholm. Caballero had a couple of hits in his return on Friday from the fractured index finger. You heard Meredith in the open talking about Aaron Boone's decision to have Caballero start rather than Volpe. Said he's just going to look at the matchup and decide, but both guys will play a lot. Thought Caballero will probably move around the diamond a little bit in Kansas City. 1-2 on Caballero. See what Caballero's done over the last 30 games. Chisholm leads off second. And the 1-2 is high and in, 2-2. Grounded weakly up the middle. Williams across his body, high throw, but the tag applied by Aranda, and Caballero is out. So it got dicey, but the tag made, and the Yankees held off the board. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Top of the 3rd inning, no score at the stadium. Yanks and Rays. Tampa Bay, best record in baseball as Weathers, who's looked sharp through the first two, deals ball one. Carson Williams has kind of lived on Baseball America's top 100 list over the last few seasons, 4 years in a row. Last year peaked as high as number 11 on that top 100 list. This year he was down to 85 heading into the year. Fouls that straight back. Oh, you got an unexpected day off in the city yesterday, huh?
Yeah. You know, I was working out. Our boss, Jared, he texts us, you know, all of a sudden we're on hold. Next thing you know, I can't, we canceled.
Yeah.
Called my wife, said, the game's canceled, don't worry. By the time I got home from the weight room, I had a ticket to the Lion King. My son and daughter-in-law were in town with their daughter. So I got a ticket to the Lion King, which we went to, had a great time. Yeah. American Girl doll stopped. Had a lady stop me and say, "Can I take a picture?" I won't tell anybody I saw you in here. But yes, it was a day in the city yesterday in the rain. Worked out well, though.
Mama made those plans quickly.
Yes, yes. She's an official tour director.
Lion King's a great show, though.
You know what, the thought behind on how you do that stuff. And I saw it years and years ago, and it keeps, you know, evolving, becoming better and better. Pretty cool stuff.
Williams works the leadoff walk. You can see Weathers upset with himself walking the number 9 hitter. And you especially don't want to walk him when you look at how the Rays have stacked their lineup today at the top with Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero. Here is Diaz, who popped out on the first pitch of the game. And takes a strike. 0-1.
Yeah, you've made this inning more difficult by walking Williams, as you said, Brian. Now you got Diaz, Aranda, Caminero, and then there's a pickoff of the year. We went in the pregame saying nobody has stolen a base off of Weathers all year. And then he's had a pickoff. Well, he got another one. He's had a good one his whole career. He's an aggressive base running team. Sometimes comes back to get him.
Boy, this has been such a weapon for the Yankees. We saw it the other night at second base a couple of times. And now Weathers eliminates Williams at first.
You know, it's such a huge out. I mean, anytime you get a leadoff runner on, it's a big thing to pick them off. But when you've got them on, and then you've got the heart of their order coming up with the Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero, it makes life a lot easier.
11th pickoff for Yankees pitchers this season. That leads the majors.
And you look at their lefties. You look at Weathers, great move, and Max Fried, probably the best move in all of baseball. So makes it very difficult to run.
Laced into left center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Grisham off one hop will toss it in, and yeah, the pickoff looms even larger now as Diaz is on with a single.
Diaz is just a good hitter, and he's always been an average hitter, and now he's starting to throw power into the numbers. He's got 8 on the year, got up into the 20s last year, but he's the next batting champion. So this is nothing new for Diaz.
Here is Aranda, struck out looking his first time up. Challenged that strike 3 call unsuccessfully.
Aranda, you see those 38 RBIs, which leads the American League. So he's had a lot of opportunities, and he's done a lot with it. He was an all-star last year. He had 316 last year, so they knew offensively that they were going to have a few guys that could swing the bat.
Yeah, shortly after he made that all-star team, he ended up missing 2 months. Suffered that broken left wrist in a collision at first with Giancarlo Stanton on July 31st. Ended up making it back for the final weekend of the season and homered in both of his first 2 games off the IL. Said, I just wanted to show I was healthy, end the year on a good note. Because some guys at that point might have just packed it up and said, okay.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
The end of the year, they weren't in the playoff hunt. But it's, you know, to the organization and to yourself. to know that you're ready to go. Then you go into the offseason, you come back, get off to a great start like he has.
1-2 on Aranda, with Diaz leading off first. And the dirt, scooped up by Wells. 2-2. Hit hard on a hop. Chisholm can't glove it. It squirts into center field. Diaz will go to third. And runners at the corners now with one down after a rocket off the bat of Aranda.
It certainly was. This ball's hit hard, and obviously you kind of olay it and just hope that it goes in your glove. If it does, it's an easy double play. But you really have no time to get in front of the ball or anything. It's kind of an in-between hop, too. It wasn't a short hop, wasn't a long hop. This ball just hit hard.
So the pickoff now even bigger as the next two batters have reached. And strike one delivered to Caminero. He singled his first time up. That ball 103 miles an hour off the bat of Aranda.
You look at his home runs. He's a team leader. He hit 45 last year with 110 RBIs, and he hit a double play right here.
Yeah.
Really going to help the Yankees.
6-4-3 and over. Weathers navigates the trouble. No score into the bottom of the third. Time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Today's pictures of Micah, Andrew, and Owen, who were here at the stadium earlier this homestand to cheer on the Yankees. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Bottom of the third inning, no score. As McMahon comes to the plate, 8-9-1 for the Yankees against Rasmussen. And that is down, ball one with the cutter. You know, Caminero, kind of the perfect double play candidate. That was his 39th grounded into double play since last season, most in the majors by a lot. Pete Alonso is next with 28. He hits the ball hard. Not a ton of speed. Hits the ball often, and there you go.
Well, I mean, Weathers is setting him up to try to get that ground ball, which he did. And you're right. If Caminero hits it hard on the ground, you're going to get that double play.
Yep.
The only problem is by challenging him, you can give up a three-run home or two. I mean, he is the leader of that team in home runs.
McMahon fouls that off.
Just kind of looking at their defense right now, out in the outfield in particular. You've got Simpson extremely deep in left field, which, you know, he's got a ton of speed. He can come in on the ball. But when you look over on the right, in right field, Blade, I mean, to play that deep in right field really never made sense to me, because anything over your head basically is going into the seats.
Yeah. With the short porch out there. Swing and a miss, and McMahon struggles continue as he's down on strikes.
Rasmussen, you talk about the three fastballs, the cutter, the four-seamer, and the sinker. That was the cutter in on a lefty.
Here's Wells, homered yesterday, also lined out. He pops this one up, foul ground. Aranda will make the catch, 2 down. So 2 quick outs for Rasmussen, and now here's Trent Grisham. You know, at Austin Wells, he didn't homer yesterday, Paul, because nobody homered yesterday. It was Friday that he homered.
Yeah, unless you play in a video game at home. Yeah,
and he might have. We don't know what Austin did.
That's right.
Maybe he went to the American Girl doll.
I didn't see him.
Like you. Do we know what doll your granddaughter picked out? Because
it came back to Camille.
Camille, okay, nice.
They don't mean much to me, but you know what? Yeah, it's been, 25 years since I've been in there. My daughter's 30 now. So I guess about 5 last time.
Well, you know, I feel like every time I go a couple months without seeing you, you have a couple new grandkids that pop up, man.
I don't think they figured out what's going on yet.
You got a full roster
yeah,
now.
Maybe I was out on the West Coast when we went through this stuff.
2-1 on Grisham. I'm sure you get roped into tea time with Camille at some point soon, Grandpa.
I just, it's an amazing thing.
It is.
How big a store that is.
It's incredible. 3-1 on Grisham.
Well, Grisham's done a good job by, you get 2 quick outs like you said, Ryan, and, you don't want to give Rasmussen that easy of an inning, so you at least get into a long count here.
Grounded towards the middle, diving stop. Williams, the throw offline, and Grisham is on with the infield single. Again, we saw yesterday 3 hits where started to get a little fortune. Here's another one where he's able to find a way on.
Yeah, Williams, you could tell by his reaction, he expects to make this play. He's probably got enough time with an accurate throw. Yeah, he's got him at first, but anytime you leave your feet and have to throw against your body, it's not the easiest of plays. Grisham runs pretty well. I was watching him. There was no indication that knee's bothering him running.
Aaron Judge snapped an 0 for 15 in the first with a rocket to left field.
Remember the last out that he made on Friday night. I mean, he hammered that ball, just did not get it up in the air. It was a line drive to center field. So, his swings are getting better and better.
Aaron Boone was talking about that with us before the game, saying he felt like Friday had a walk, hit that ball, also hit a rocket at short. That things looked like they were coming along. He thought the offense as a whole had good at bats, hit some balls hard at people, said it felt differently about it than he did the Toronto series and the way they ended that series offensively. And Aaron Judge is going to challenge it. He usually
the batter challenges strike
so. But when he has done it, he's been very accurate. And he's accurate again.
It is a ball. Yankees still have 2 challenges.
I don't know that anybody in baseball is going to like this low pitch challenge in Aaron Judge. I mean, for years and years, right when he broke into the league, he had that call called against him.
3-1 now on Judge. And the count is full. Judge 6-1 or 6 for 7 in his challenges. The MLB average is 47%. He's tracking 40% ahead of that.
See, Aaron Judge seldom calls timeout, but when he does, he goes through the same thing. Picks up a little dirt, and you get back in the same rhythm.
High fly ball into center. Racing in is Mullins, finding the win, makes the catch, stand the inning. A pitcher's duel at the stadium. Scoreless through 3. Hey, score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Yankees, the official source for your Yankees gear. Top of the 4th inning, no score between the Yankees and the Rays. Rays took the opener to this series on Friday. Yesterday rained out. Will be made up as part of a doubleheader September 22nd. And now a final game today. Yankees will head to Kansas City after the game for a day game tomorrow. As Weathers pounces, pops, and one away. The lead retired.
You see Simpson coming to the plate. You saw him Friday night leading off with his speed. That's where you want him. But they change the lineup a little bit, move him down in the order against lefties, and have Diaz lead off, who really handles lefties well.
That is looped into left. Bellinger right there. 2 down. Here's Fortes, who doubled over the head of Grisham in the second. Weather's at 50 pitches.
I was watching Simpson after that ball. I mean, jogging. He even jogs fast. You know? If you got no wheels, you almost come to a stop when you jog. I mean, he's still like 50-50 when he's jogging.
Is the fastest home to first time in the majors. Rolled to third. McMahon throws high. Goldschmidt gets down on the bag in a quick 1-2-3 inning. 5 pitches for Weathers. Well, congratulations to Ben Rice on being voted the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. 8 hits in his last 8 games. 3 homers. He's had success against the Rays this season, too. 5 for 12 going into this one, and hit a rocket his first time up, but right at the right fielder Valade.
I hate to say it, Brian. Ryan, when you go through a struggle offensively as a team is, you know, it's kind of easy to win Player of the Week.
That's right.
Right?
Right. Rice has had much more robust weeks than that.
Yes.
But
and when Judge is hot, you know, and you just basically you're playing for second place.
That's right. Even in the MVP in the American League, you're playing for second place. Rice nubs it up the middle. Walls makes the play. 1 down.
You break down Rasmussen, I mean, he just makes it look easy, and it's all by location, and it's not really tricking guys. Like I said, almost 80% of his pitches are in fastball mode. You know, cutter, sinker, 4-seamer, but location-wise, he just does not miss a lot.
Since 2021, and Paul gave you these numbers earlier, Rasmussen is first in the American League in ERA, 2.78. He's first in opponent OPS. He's third in homers allowed per 9. He's 6th in ground ball percentage. He's top 10 in batting average against. And he has just been a really good pitcher for a while. And he's been especially good against the Yankees. Bellinger whacks that into right. And he's on with 1 out here in the 4th. Hey, let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Thought the Rasmussen number that was most amazing, though, Paul, was that career ERA against the Yankees, the lowest of any of the 1,013 pitchers who've made at least 5 starts against the Yankees since 1913.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. I mean, the Yankees are an offensive team. You would think you'd have a hiccup along the way somewhere and, you know, give up a couple homers, but he's just been good. He you know, he's not overwhelmed by pitching against the Yankees. He continues to pitch the way he does. Doesn't change anything.
Career here at the stadium entering this one, 3-0 with an ERA of 1 flat. There goes Bellinger. Throw down in time, and Bellinger eliminated as Fortes throws out another.
Well, Bellinger got up and he knew he was out. Boone's going to take a look at it, but you know, you got a little wet track. It's kind of a dreary day, a good throw there, but again, I think you have to continue. Yeah, easily got him on the knee there. Continue to press the issue and try to run. A really good pitch to throw on there.
Well, Fortes had entered this series, 5 for 42, throwing out base runners. Now he's thrown out 2 out of 3. 3-0. That's a strike. 3-1 on Goldschmidt.
I'm sure he's putting a lot of work in and trying to improve that. Kevin Cash, an ex-catcher, knows, the numbers don't lie about stealing bases against you. And if that's costing you runs, you got to put the work on to get better at it.
Goldschmidt works the 2-out walk. Here's Chisholm. Singled, stole a base. His first time up. Last 9 games, a .441 batting average. Hits with 2 outs here and a man on, and swings and misses at a changeup.
And Ryan, a little bit of a funny moment in the clubhouse. We told you that he's been wearing Giancarlo Stanton's pants using Jose Caballero's bat. Well, Caballero got a new shipment of bats. They were still in a box, not even opened yet. Caballero was nowhere to be found, and Jazz went over to his locker, started opening up the box. And all the reporters were looking at him. He looked up, looked over, and was like, whoops, everybody caught me, and kept it moving.
That's great, Meredith.
I remember when Soriano, he came up to me one day and said, "Do you mind if I use your bat?" And I said, "Obviously not. No, sure, if you like it," because I used a really heavy bat.
And he was known for that.
Oh, and he had such strong hands, and he just whipped that thing, and he really started hitting well with it. But there's one thing about using your bat. There's another thing about going through it and picking out the best ones.
Right.
Like a dozen bats, like 4 of them are just pearls. You're gamers. And, you get a couple that don't look so great. You use them for batting practice. But, yeah, you take one of those. Don't take one of my pearls,
How quickly could you tell, Paul? Like when you get that shipment of bats right away?
Immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them just have that good grain to them, which gives you a harder wood. You know what? You need hits in this game, right?
Time for the Optimum Fiber Famously Fast replay. How about Weathers today, Paul?
He's been really good. Just like he's done all year. Used that fastball a lot. Got a good breaking ball. Got the big double play when he needed it. But zeros on the board. You can't complain about that.
He had a 5-pitch 4th inning. And now in the 5th, we'll face 7, 8, 9 in the Rays order. Another good start from Weathers. Yankees have a plethora of effective starting pitching. It's allowed them to navigate as they've, had a couple of guys go down.
Dropped the plethora on.
I thought it was time.
Gonna liven up the booth up.
That's right. Hey, we had eponymous on a graphic the other night. I want to go back to you selecting your bats, though, Paul, because you get a dozen bats or so or whatever in a box, and the second you pick it up, okay, I'm using this in a game or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few of them, like I said, 3 or 4 that just have perfect grain on them, wide grain, and usually that meant that the wood was a little harder. They wouldn't splinter down the barrel of the bat. Those are the ones that were kind of off. Every once in a while, you would actually get a knot, and you could see that in the wood. In the hitting part of the bat, there's not a better bat in the world than because it's hard wood,
Yeah. Popped up high in the air. McMahon coming down from 3rd makes the catch. 1 away.
You talk about it, like a little boy at Christmas, man. When you get a new box of bats, you just can't wait to open it, see what's going on, and every once in a while you get a bat it just didn't feel right. These handles are off a little bit, but you get so accustomed to feeling what your bat feels like. And I was a guy that never changed. I used the same bat opening day that I did in Game 7 of the World Series, where some guys would lighten up as the year went on. They felt like they got tired or go to a different model. Bernie, being a switch hitter sometimes, go to a different model. But everybody, you're so suspicious. Help me here.
Specific. I didn't know if you were going specific or suspicious.
I didn't either.
Because Caballero's suspicious of Jazz now after Jazz was going to his box of bats before Caballero got to him. But yeah, you're so specific in what you want out there.
What your bat feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically, what's your best friend during the season.
Now, how long did Sorey stay with your bat?
You know what? I think he continued the whole year and into the next year. Yeah.
3-0 here on Mullins. With Carson Williams on deck. 3-0. There's a strike. And ball 4. So the only walks that Weathers has issued today to the 9-hitter Williams and now the 8-hitter Mullins. That will send up Williams, who was picked off following that walk, which proved to be huge because the next 2 hitters single.
Yeah, it's almost like, all right, the off innings where Diaz, Aranda, Jimenez are not coming up. You know, you really need to concentrate even more on those innings to get guys off the base before the big guys get up there. And so far, Weathers has manned, you know, thrown zeros up, gotten through Diaz, Caminero, but with the walk to Williams and now to Mullins, it makes things a little more difficult.
And I know all catchers take a beating, but it just feels like Austin Wells takes even more of a beating.
Yeah, and during that time where, you know, he's really going through a tough time offensively, it was just like one after the other. It's like, you know, what else do you want?
The 0-1. That is hammered to left field. Bellinger over, makes the catch for the second out as Mullins retreats.
That was kind of a tricky play. You make it more on the sound than you do, because off the bat it looked like he really drove the ball. But you know, if you listen to it closely, off the end of the bat, Bellinger got a really good jump immediately going sideways instead of kind of freezing.
Here's Yandy Diaz, singled his last time up. Fouls that off. You know, the wind today is also straight in from left field.
You know, it's no secret when it's cool out like it is, the ball doesn't carry as much, and especially now with the winds kind of blowing straight in from left field. You got to take that into consideration where you're playing as a left fielder.
Your driver only goes about 320 on days like today, right, Paul?
I don't know. It's been so long since I picked up a club. I don't know where it goes.
Hey, a starting lineup full of grandchildren will do that to you.
Yeah, in a week in New York.
0-2 on Diaz. Pitch. Chopped up the middle. Caballero races to it and makes the play, made it look easy. To end the top of the 5th, Weathers has thrown up zeros. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by USAA. This Memorial Day, let's honor what was given. Beautiful shot at Yankee Stadium as Caballero cues that to first. And 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. No score between the Yankees and the Rays. Weathers and Rasmussen have both been doing their thing. A rain out yesterday, so the bullpen's fully rested.
Again, the Yankee offense looking for something. I mean, you look at last 3 or 4 games, only scored a couple run combined.
Paul, when you're in the middle of it the way McMahon is, you know, this deep into the season, not that you experience stretches like that, but I mean, just how hard is it as a hitter to just go up there and not be in your head every single one of these at bats?
Yeah, it's mentally taxing. Don't get me wrong, but you know, you try to watch body language from players, you know, and every once in a while you don't ever want to see a guy look comfortable, you know, striking out or expecting to strike out. And every once in a while I look out, you know, some of the guys struggling a little bit. It's just like it looks like they're expecting to make outs. You know, you really have to kind of convince yourself. You know, you talk to yourself over and over again. You know, didn't we just discuss this? We need to hit. I mean, it's not next at bat, it's this at bat. And sometimes it's, oh, I'll get him next time. Well, that's a horrible mentality as a hitter. It's got to be, I got to get him this pitch. You really have to start breaking it down pitch to pitch.
Yeah, McMahon again waves and misses as he's down on strikes. Fourth strikeout for Rasmussen.
And you see him really kind of getting out to his front side really quick. And when you do that, you know, watch where this hip goes. Before the ball's even in the hitting area, it's out. And then that bat has to come around. You really just don't give yourself an opportunity to drive that ball when it's down and away like that was. It's about balance, and you know, when you get out to your front foot, that front shoulder and front hip kind of just bring everything away where you can't stay back and really drive the ball.
Wells pops it up into shallow center. Mullins hangs with it through the wind and the rain. No score into the sixth.
Justin Shackle with your Audi updates at Fenway. Red Sox and Twins bottom four. And Wilson Contreras goes up toward the monster. Just sneaks inside the foul pole for a 2-run homer to tie the game. They're tied at 3 right now as the Red Sox try to avoid the sweep at home run.
All right, Shaq, thank you very much. Taking a look around the majors. Roki Sasaki, you see what he's done his last 4 starts after struggling in his first 5. Zach Wheeler has been dialed in. And Bobby Witt Jr., the Yankees are headed to big numbers over his last 15 games. Yankees start a 3-game set in Kansas City tomorrow.
By getting this game in on time, which was really not expected, it's going to help both these teams that have day games tomorrow. Yankees getting out of here, heading to Kansas City.
Top of the 6th inning, no score between the Yanks and the Rays. Ryan Rucco, Paul O'Neill, Meredith Marakovitz, our entire Yes crew. Appreciate you hanging out with us on a rainy Memorial Day weekend.
You like postpone Memorial Weekend?
Yeah, right.
It just was kind of a flop this year, wasn't it?
Right. Well, I mean, Paul, you've gone through quite the weather swing here in New York this week. 90 degrees on Tuesday.
Yeah.
57 at first pitch today.
Yeah, we've gone through a few seasons here this week.
That's right. A 1-2 from Weathers. Weathers has looked really sharp all day long.
Yeah, they put some pressure on him a few innings, but he's continued to throw the shutout. But, you know, Rasmussen is making it look easy against the Yankees right now, too.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Aranda late, and 4th strikeout for Weathers.
Yeah, to use that breaking ball to get him off the fastball. You know, this is a big time breaking ball to a good lefty hitter.
Here's Caminero. Grounded into a double play to end the 3rd in what was the biggest threat of this game for either team. Rays had 1st and 3rd, 1 out. And Caminero grounded into the 39th double play that he has grounded into since the start of last season. By far and away number 1 in the majors in that category. Pete Alonso 11 behind him in 2nd. 1-1. By the way, Caminero last year grounded into 31 double plays. That was tied for 8th most all time.
Wow.
Hits the ball hard.
Yeah, but the 45 home runs and 110 RBIs, you know.
That's right.
You'll take that, right?
2-2. Well, he's in good company, too, because the record holder for that is Jim Rice with 36 back in 1984.
He's a great hitter, too. Well, when you look at Caminero, I mean, you talk about a steal. He was with the Guardians, traded in 2021. Tavius Myers, who's not pitching anymore, and all of a sudden, this guy's a star.
Yeah, when Tampa makes a trade, they have the kind of organizational trust and clout that you're saying, okay, why are they targeting that guy? Why do they want him? Fly ball, right field. Judge makes the catch, 2 down. I join USAA in honoring our nation's fallen heroes. Certainly something on all of our minds and hearts this Memorial Day weekend. Two out, nobody on, top of the 6th, and outside with a changeup to Valade. Valade is struck out, grounded out. 2-0.
He's kind of a cross up there, but what it was a changeup that was supposed to go away that ended up going like a breaking ball into the right-hander.
Foul back. The 2-1 to Valade. Again. Wells gets smoked with a tip.
It's fun to be a catcher, huh?
Right. The 2-2. High, 3-2. Chandler Simpson on deck. Here's the 3-2 from Weathers. Just missed. And ball 4 as Valade is a 2-out base runner. 3rd walk issued by Weathers. Simpson a couple of flyouts today. Leads the majors with 19 infield hits this season and takes a strike.
You know, sometimes things work out. I mean, you get an out here, then you don't want Simpson leading off anyway. And, you know, with Valade on first base, you're kind of taking his speed away too, even if he does get on. We talked about it. I mean, you don't have to worry about him. We talked about it on Friday night, hitting the ball out of the ballpark. You know, his only home run to date was an inside the Parker in the minor leagues.
That's right. Tap to second. Chisholm charges, tosses, inning over. How about 6 shutout innings for Ryan Weathers? Oh, it is time for How About That? How about that? Junior Caminero at age 9 insisted naming his newborn brother Girardi after then Yankees manager Joe Girardi. His parents agreed. Nicknamed La Maxima, which translates to the maximum or the greatest. At age 11, took a fan selfie with Manny Machado. Years later, Machado personally handed him his number 13 jersey. How about that, indeed?
How about that? Huh?
How about that? I don't know if Joe has met him yet. And how about this with Manny Machado? How cool is that?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at those pictures, it's amazing. That, Manny Machado has been a great player for a lot of years, but he's been around for a lot of years now.
So it'll be the top of the Yankee order. Grisham, Judge, and Rice. Grisham 1 for 2 today. Judge has looked like he's getting there after his at-bats yesterday, especially the last one, and his at-bats today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of time for Aaron Judge. You know that. I mean, before he clicks one and it's a home run, and then that home run turns into, 5 for the week. That's just the type of hitter he is. He can do unbelievable things when he's hot. I'm thinking of Ryan Weather. So this is his 10th start. First 4 starts, no runs. None. And then, he got a few runs, and then today no runs. So 5 out of his 10 starts, the Yankees haven't put up a run. I mean, you got to kind of scratch your head.
Weather's been doing his job. Grisham is on to lead off the 6th.
Well, there's a welcome sight. Leadoff single, ball hit hard. It looked like it actually was a cutter. It kind of stayed out over the plate. Actually hit something in the dirt and kind of popped up. Took any play from Williams out, but that ball was struck well.
So 3 hits on Friday night for Grisham, 2 hits today, and here comes Aaron Judge. Ball 1. Judge has lined a single to left, which snapped an 0 for 15, and then flew out to center. Ball he just missed. Count 1-0 for the 3-time MVP. 2-0. Yankees have not mounted many threats today against Rasmussen. The 2-0. Judge fights that off down the right field line, foul. Aaron right now in an 11-game homerless streak. The longest stretch of his career, 16 games. The 2-1. Chase there, 2-2.
I think when you look back at that, his longest homers streak, 16 games, cut her off the plate, got Aaron Judge out of the strike zone. I think he ended up hitting 58 here anyway.
Well, if he got to 50 this year, he'd become the first player ever to have 5 50-homer seasons.
Ever's a long time in baseball.
Yeah.
You know that?
The 2-2. In the dirt, Grisham. That one skipped pretty far away from Fortes, but little hesitation from Grisham and then stayed anchored. By the way, even now with the 11-game homerless streak, Judge is still on pace for 50 this year. The 3-2. Judge hits it hard right to third. Caminero with his second for 1 on the first. A double play. So Grisham not getting to second on that little scooted ball in the dirt from Fortes. Ends up coming back to hurt the Yanks as Judge grounds into the DP.
That's a smart pitching. Away, and then all of a sudden, in enough to get him on the ground. Ball was hit hard, but by fooling him, by coming inside, you get kind of a pull-off swing where you end up grounding out, and it turns into a double play.
And Paul, one thing worth mentioning too for Grisham not going to second on that ball that skipped away. His knee, he still may not be feeling 100% running. We saw that yesterday when he got thrown at home.
Yeah, you might be right. He's kind of in that reserve mode. Where, you don't want to push it too much. But it certainly did, change the outcome.
Yep. 1-1 on Rice. Rice rolls it up the middle. Walls cover so much ground. Throws out Ben Rice. Scoreless through 6 at the stadium on Yes. The Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Well, we have climbed to the 7th inning, still with no runs here today.
Definitely a pitcher's duel. Both guys, throwing zeros up.
A little action in the Yankee pen to begin this 7th. Weathers at 88 pitches. Will face Fortes, Walls, and Mullins. That's 6, 7, 8 in the Rays order. Yankees with 5 hits. Tampa Bay with 4 as Weathers falls behind 2-0. This game astonishingly started on time. After it rained for about 27 straight hours, it stopped just in time for first pitch. What? Paul at back timed his coffee, his notes, everything as if we had a 2:45 start. You know
what? I was a little off kilter when we started. We got no business starting this thing, but it was amazing because it was pouring down rain at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
All of a sudden, the grounds crew had their Danny Cunningham has the best weather reports, and they figured it was going to stop. The field was in good shape because it had the tarp on it.
3-1. Driven in the air down the right field line. Judge racing over. Kids there to make the catch for the first down of the 7th. All right, time for Name That Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. This is a 6 difficulty. Brief career, 190 average, 106 hits, 9 homers, 23 with the Yanks. 2 years with the Rays, spent time with the Dodgers.
You know what? Sometimes numbers just need to be kept off the screen. Hit the $190.
You want different facts. Broken bat, looper into shallow left center. Grisham hesitated, then dives and makes the catch. He was coming, then stopped. And
it was kind of odd. Like,
yeah.
Thought it was going to, and then it just hung up, and he what the heck? And he dove at the end. Off the end of the bat, shatters it. But right here, it's like, it's going to go in. Nope, I think I can get there, and he did. Secured it well, right in the pocket.
Cruz getting ready in the Yankee pen. He had a couple big strikeouts Friday night. Weathers trying to get through this 7th, though. Mullins laces that into right. Judge there. 7 shutout innings for Ryan Weathers. We'll keep things right here as we honor America with God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise, remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Army Staff Sergeant Arturo Edwards from Colón, Panama, who served in Vietnam. The Yankees say thank you, Arturo, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love.
It's Justin and Jack with your Ford Studio update. And Jack, as we wait to see whether or not the Yankees offense can answer the call, Ryan Weathers has done more than enough to give them a chance to win today.
Yeah, second scoreless outing he's ever had as a Yankee, Justin, and it was a gem today. That Caminero double play that he got to get out of an inning was key in this game. I love how much he has used his sinker this season. That opens up so much for him with his breaking pitches.
Jack and I will see you on the postgame with Meredith. Right now, back to the booth with Ryan and Paul.
All right, thank you very much, Jack. Taking a look at the game summary. No score between the Yanks and the Rays into the bottom of the 7th inning. Rasmussen and Weathers have been dealing. 7 shutout for Ryan Weathers. Rasmussen will face Bellinger to lead off the bottom of the 7th and deals ball 1.
That was a really good point just listening to the studio there. Jack Curry. The Yankees are very adamant about pitchers having 3 types of fastballs, and by him increasing the sinker, which goes away from the right-handed hitter, it really does open up that good breaking ball down and in. And most people try to just master one, and that's kind of the nature of the game now, where if you look at Schlittler, he uses 3 fastballs, and it's just very hard to pick up and as a hitter to be able to cover all 3 of them.
Weathers has increased that 2-seam usage by 15% this season. Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. Two and 2 on Bellinger. And tipped into the glove. He's down on strikes. StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. This is the arsenal for Rasmussen through 6 innings.
Yeah, we talked about how much he uses his sinker, cutter, and 4-seamer, and he's actually used that changeup a lot also, a little bit more than usual. And it's been early in the count. He's got a lot of first pitch strikes with the changeup to kind of set up his fastball.
Well, to your point about what Jack was saying and the different fastballs, Rasmussen has talked about this, and he said, because he has 3 different fastballs he's thrown, right? With the cutter, the 4-seamer, and the sinker. He said hitting's hard to begin with. Velocity is probably the single hardest element to deal with. So if I can throw you 3 shapes at a relatively similar velocity, they're all doing different things, and it's a guessing game at that point.
Yeah, it's a big part of the plate to cover. I mean, when you look at a true sinker ball pitcher, you just saw it over and over and over again. And as a left-handed hitter facing his sinker ball from the right side, you just get so used to seeing the ball tailing away, where you just start to cover that pitch away, where all of a sudden a fastball in, a cutter in, it's a totally different movement. It gets you, rocking back and forth.
The 1-2. And it's 2 and 2. Swing and a miss. Goldschmidt down on strikes. They come out to Yankee Stadium on Saturday night, June 6th for Military Appreciation Night when the Yankees take on the Red Sox. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees red, white, and blue t-shirt courtesy of Ford. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com.
You pick one of those up and you hold it for a month. You wear it on July 4th, too.
That's right.
By the way, that strikeout for Goldschmidt is 2,000th of his career. He's the 9th player all time to hit that mark.
Well, you got to be in the game a long time to have that many strikeouts. But you know what? He has put up some great numbers, probably a Hall of Fame numbers.
Rolled to second. Chisholm retired. How about Rasmussen? Continues to dominate at the stadium. No score through 7. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by USAA. This Memorial Day, let's honor what was given. By your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. Well, we have cruised into the top of the 8th inning with the train pulling in on Monday's scoreboard. And the day is done for Ryan Weathers. And he was outstanding. 7 shutout innings. Just got no run support for a 5th start this season. Fernando Cruz, the new pitcher for the Yanks.
Yeah, they really had the 1 inning where he got the huge double play. Caminero, but he was tremendous today. I mean, good fastball, used his changeup at times, and he's got the curveball. He's just building every time out, being a bigger part of this rotation.
Richie Palacios pinch hitting here for Carson Williams to lead off the top of the 8th with Yandy Diaz, Jonathan Aranda up next. Skies that in the air in the infield, right side. Goldschmidt there. 1 away. Today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Well, Giancarlo Stanton, as Meredith told us earlier, will be examined this week to see if he can resume running. Got to get some imaging this coming week to help determine that. He has continued to do everything else while on the IL, and he could bypass a rehab assignment. There's no doubt, Paul, they miss his bat. They miss his presence in the lineup when he is out.
Yeah, he's a run producer. There's no doubt about it. And this Yankee offense just goes along better with Stanton in the lineup. I miss him too. I mean, yeah, you look forward to his at bats, especially when he's swinging the bat well. Not too many people in the game, if any, hit the ball as hard as he does.
Yankees are just 13-13 since Stan went on the IL.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for him too, this year after year. I mean, he's off to a good start offensively. Everything looked good. Boom, there you got a calf injury. And the one thing he has shown, as you see, Diaz
lines that deep to left. Yeah, off the wall. Bellinger can't play it cleanly, and Diaz is at second with a 1-out double.
Oh, this is shot off the wall. The good thing is it stayed in the ballpark. It's probably a sure double off the bat anyway. Split finger just kind of stays up, doesn't really drop like you're accustomed to seeing. The shoots, sometimes it hits the seams and just kind of shoots to the left. He really stays, see that the barrel of the bat just stays through that, and he is so strong.
Rays will send in a pinch runner as Diaz departs.
I know Kevin Cash knows what he's doing, but it scares me to take out one of your better hitters if he ends up getting another at bat without this game.
Judge on the run, dives and makes the catch. Oh, what a play from Aaron Judge to save a run here in the 8th.
Well, I didn't know if he was grimacing or laughing. I was glad he was smiling, but you know, as a player in this time of the game, you know, it presents itself that you've got to go for this baseball, and Judge knew off the bat that he has to make this play, and a good play. It's a big dude going after that.
Yeah,
you know that?
On a ball that was dropping swiftly in right center. Judge able to cover the ground and get there.
Yeah, good jump, and that's also knowing your center fielder, and you know, Christian, knowing the right fielder, knowing who's going to get to this ball where you're not kind of hesitant and letting it fall in between you.
Tim Hill getting ready in the Yankee pen. Here's Caminero, who batted with the Rays' biggest threat of the day back in the third at first and third, one out, and grounded into a double play to end the inning. Here he hits the runner on second.
Base open. So, you know, the count, this pitch right here is really going to tell whether you're really going to be going after him or whether you're going to use that base open. Late on deck. You're not an everyday player, but off to a good start, hitting over 300. But Caminero, one of their run producers, 27 RBIs on the year, 13 home runs. So you really, at this point, can't give in. Just give him something to drive.
Yeah, and then they're going to walk him, Paul, to your point. Caminero's 45 home runs last year. Only player with more before the age of 21. Eddie Matthews in a season where you're 21 or younger with 47. That's how historic Caminero's year was last season. So he gets walked here, and now first and second, 2 out. Cruz will face Valade, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, a ground out, and a strikeout. No score, top of the 8th, Yanks and Rays. And ball 1. Wind picking up a little bit. Could tell from the mist coming in the booth all of a sudden.
You told me earlier in the game it was going to get warmer. I don't know when it's going to start, but it's not getting warmer.
Filet, big swing there, fouls the straight back. This bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Everybody got yesterday off thanks to the rain. So Yankee bullpen should be in pretty good shape here. Filet, just a .479 career OPS against righties compared to .707 against lefties. 2-1.
Now, there's that good movement there, but Filet able to stay off of it. Big pitch was the 0-1 pitch where he came back with a fastball to get a strike in the count.
Pickoff attempt at second. Chisholm couldn't hang on, but no issues there as it stays in the infield.
Yeah, we've talked how good they have been with the pickoffs this year, but the only problem is things like this in big innings can happen. Luckily, that ball ricocheted right over to Caballero at shortstop. That ball goes into left center field. You know, the merry-go-round starts.
(2-1). 3-1 now on Valade, with Chandler Simpson and his pesky self on deck.
Yeah, this has been the situation where Cruz, when he gets behind, well, a lot of times go to that slider this year to try to get a strike.
3-1.
Yeah, a fastball. He is challenging him. Now you're at the point where if you can throw that good forkball even a little bit out of the zone, you'll probably get a swing and a miss. He was able to take one earlier in the count, and a good one.
Runners will be off. 3-2, 2 out. Pitch hit hard and through into left field, a base hit. Bellinger coming up, firing to third. The tag applied before the run scored.
Wow.
Yes, before the run scored. It's still a 0-0 game. What a heads-up play by Bellinger to get the out at third.
Well, you don't know how good this is. He knows the runners are in motion. He's got no chance at home plate, so he throws that rocket to third base. And I think you're right, Brian. I think this is going to stand. No run scored. You talk about a heads-up play. Cody Bellinger has done so much defensively, but that's knowing the play before it happens.
What a terrific heads-up play from the Yankee left fielder. And McMahon makes the scoop
Bay
and
is
attack.
challenging the play at third base.
His knee caught up there
the potential
at the end
time
of this play too.
No run scored
really
on the
cannot
field.
explain how smart of a play that is, because you know in your head runners are in motion, base hit. First of all, you were hoping that the ball would almost hit him because he's out. But he kind of hurtled over it. It's going to be a close play, but we'll see.
I think he gets him before that run scored. Yeah, he's out. Run doesn't score.
Watch the end of this play. Look at McMahon's
right at it. Yeah. Ouch. Oof. A lot of weight going on the ankle and calf of McMahon.
Just don't know how good a play that is, right? I mean, in your head, you're saying, I've got no chance, but you have to rush it to get the ball to third base. If you hesitate at all, the run's going to score before it. It's just knowing what's going to happen before it happens sometimes on a baseball field.
Brilliant play from Bellinger. And it will keep this game scoreless. Surprised it's even taken this long.
After review, it is confirmed the runner's out at third. Also, it's confirmed there's no run score.
That's even more important.
Tempo loser challenge.
That's a win-win on an excellent play from Bellinger and a great scoop and tag from McMahon. Well, what a play by Bellinger there to end the top of the eighth.
Really just can't emphasize it enough. I mean, he knew before this play happened what is going to happen. A lot of times as an outfielder, you make the play, kind of look up and survey what's going on. You have no chance with runners in motion at home plate. But all of a sudden, you make this play, and really the end of this play could have been a lot worse. His knee really got pushed the other way.
And it's also a mistake on the bases by Caminero,
Well, not great speed. You just assume that, you're round in third base, you're going to score, and you forget what's happening behind you. Just really heads up, just a baseball play by Cody Bellinger.
Great scoop on the backside of it by McMahon as his left leg was in peril. And now Yankees with a little momentum into the bottom of the eighth as they try and crack through against Kevin Kelly after a 7 shutout from Rasmussen. And Caballero, humpback liner, he is out.
Well, you got Rasmussen out of the game as the Yankees got Weathers out of the game. So it's coming down to the bullpen here. The Yankees got 5 outs to this point. To the Rays, 3 outs. So, unless you want to go to extra innings, let's put up a run and go home.
Bednar up in the Yankee pen. McMahon slams a single into center. Ryan McMahon on with 1 out.
You just wonder if he has any after effects. The sinker up in the strike zone, and he stays through it, which is a good sign for him. Every once in a while, him coming off the ball. See how he's behind the ball here. It's out front like we showed before, where everything's kind of in sync to drive the ball. You just wonder if that knee is a little banged up right now. Austin Wells, no hits today, but has had a couple good swings where he looked like he was right on it, just popped them up. He can put it all together here and drive the ball.
0-1. Taps it weakly over the mound. Walls stays on the pad and fires to first for the double play. To the 9th inning we go, still scoreless in the Bronx. Time for the answer to Name That Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. Paul, we got him. Ben Rortvedt.
He was a big fella too.
How about that? Yeah, little backup catcher, Ben Rortvedt.
I hate to say it, but when the man's hitting the $190, you got to go in the vault. You don't have a lot to pick from.
Yeah. Conversations with Garrett Cole. He was Garrett Cole's personal catcher for a while there. Yeah. Sharing a moment. Very nice. And Tim Hill on to face Chandler Simpson. You see the resume on Ben Ortfed. Acquired with Josh Donaldson and IKF from the Twins. 32 games for the Yankees and traded to the Rays.
Bunt attempt, and Tim Hill tough on lefties, and Simpson the last person in the world you want to get on base here in the top of the ninth with his speed. This is where Simpson puts pressure on the defense. I mean, if you're a defensive player in the infield, you got to know that this ball's hit on the ground. I can't bobble it. I can't make a mistake because he'll beat it out.
Tipped into the glove. Yeah, big out there for Hill. One away.
Tim Hill, not a strikeout pitcher, but he is a strike thrower, and you just keep putting pressure on lefty hitters. See, that's sideboard spin. That's where you got to get that sink. That's why he leads the American League in ground ball percentage. Forte's not used to seeing that sinker up in the strike zone, questioning the call. Well, I don't know that I've seen Tim Hill throw two sliders in a count to anybody all year. And you've seen two sliders, both for balls, but two sliders. That's back to the center.
There you go. 2-2. Shortstop Walls on deck. No scored, top of the ninth. 2-2. Low, and it's 3-2. Hill pitched in some tough luck on Friday night. An error from Caballero started the inning. And he misses here as Hill walks Fortes. Hey fans, the next game on Yes. Tuesday as the Yankees are in Kansas City for Game 2 against the Royals. Extended coverage starts at 5:30 with 2 full hours of pregame leading up to first pitch at 7:40 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Yes, we'll have postgame coverage following the final out of the Yankees and Royals series opener tomorrow. Here's Taylor Walls, a strikeout, a pop out, a fly out.
And I'm just
a little push bunt to first. Goldschmidt going to go to second and make the play. 2 down.
Well, this is what Tampa Bay does. I mean, they put pressure on. They lead all of baseball in bunts, infield hits, all those little type of things. But this ball was bunted a little hard with Goldschmidt coming off the bag. Nice backhand play, puts him in a position to make a good throw to second base. Wow, looks like he almost threw a palm ball there. Every once in a while, you don't come up with it, perfectly. You just kind of grip it with all your fingers. Do a little homework for you, Ryan, just to make sure what's going on. So Kansas City tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sunny and 85. So the Yankees will be happy to take the field.
They're going to be thrilled to go there. Simpson lines that into left. Mullins, rather, lines that into left. So first and second now with 2 down.
It's all about contact. It's all about putting the ball in play if you're the Tampa Bay Rays. And you don't see a lot of lefties able to elevate Tim Hill. This ball lined to left field. And Mullins, who's having a tough year offensively, 189 coming into the series, has had some really, really good at-bats. These 2 games we've seen.
Big spot here. Palacios up. Takes ball 1. First and second. 2 out.
Palacios, the lefty, pinch hit for Williams earlier in the game, and now you don't have an option. You've got a lefty on lefty.
1-1 on Palacios. 2 for 2 in his career against Tim Hill. He's the one who hit that comebacker off of Hill's glove for a huge ribby base hit on Friday night. Bednar back up just in case. Hill trying to get out of it right here. Yankees will send Grisham, Judge, and Rice to the dish in the bottom of the ninth. Two on, two out, 1-2 coming. And grounded foul.
Well, good location there, right in on your hands. The lefty, there really not much you could do with that two-seamer that continues to run in on you. The last thing you want is to throw that sinker down and away where a lefty could, shoot it to the left side.
Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider. Tim Hill throws a scoreless ninth. No score headed to the bottom of the ninth. It's Grisham, it's Judge, and Rice ready to eat and win a ball game. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. And by the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. Well, the Yankees imagining their win right now. Top of the order, bottom of the ninth. No score at the stadium.
And Kevin Cash kind of caught in the middle here because you've got Clevenger and lefty up in the bullpen, which Grisham, Rice behaving third. But the problem is you got Aaron Judge in the middle, who's a righty. So he's chosen right here to stick with the righty against Grisham. We can use him against Aaron Judge.
You see Clevenger's there just in case.
Well, you've got Ben Rice and Cody Bellinger 3 and 4 this inning. So if they would get something going, then you set them up for Clevenger. But this is getting Grisham and possibly Rice an at bat against a righty just because you got Aaron Judge hitting second.
Grisham taking a minute after the foul tip. Grisham 2 hits today, had 3 hits on Friday. Behind 0-2. And 1-2. Yankees trying to get their first win of the season against Tampa Bay. And it's 2-2 on Grisham. The 2-2. Count is full on Trent Grisham with Aaron Judge on deck.
I told you earlier, Ryan, about that sinker. You, as a lefty, you're able to start tracking that ball. What a take right there, just off the outside corner.
Grisham trying to set the table here in the bottom of the ninth. The 3-2. Ball 4, and Grisham is on. Has the winning run.
Oh, what an at bat there. And again, it goes back to the one fastball, the sinker, over and over again. You really get a good look at it as a left-handed hitter where you're able to take those close pitches because you haven't seen anything inside.
7 career walk-off hits for Aaron Judge. 3 career walk-off home runs. They all were in 2022. Schumann will pinch run for Grisham. Remember, Grisham's been a little slowed by that knee. Hey, fans, after the final out, Get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and hear from the manager, plus a look ahead to the series with the Royals. It's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. So Judge steps in, and Paul, his swings, his contact has been a little better over these last 2 games.
Yeah, it just looks like he's ready to hit one of those loud ones. You know, he got a big hit to start the game. And Rasmussen, don't get me wrong, is extremely hard on righty, so he had tough at-bats today.
Kelly deals to Judge. Judge hits it in the air. Deep right field. The lay back. Game over. Aaron Judge ends it with a 2-run walk-off homer. And the Yankees win it 2-0 at the stadium.
Start spreading.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm going to take credit. We called that. We told him Aaron Judge was looking right. He was going to hit one hard. What a win for the Yankees. Great pitching. And all of a sudden, you got Rasmussen out of the game. And just because Aaron Judge is hitting second in the 9th inning, you get Grissom off a righty, a big walk, and then a home run. You knew it was coming sooner or later. And then sooner for the Yankees. What a win.
The 11-game homerless streak ends, and it ends in a big way.
Trying to get that two-seamer in. Didn't quite get it there, and Aaron Judge, so big and strong with a good swing. Yep, bat flip. Game over. Captain, take your boys to Kansas City. You know what? I got a feeling that's going to be the drive of the game. I'm going to wait on it, but I got a feeling that's going to be the drive of the game.
The captain with his 4th career walk-off home run, his 8th career walk-off overall, and the Yankees win it 2-0 on that swing from Aaron Judge.
My favorite picture in Yankee Stadium, when Aaron Judge jacks one, everybody's on their feet, and why not? It's a walk-off on Sunday in the Bronx.
First win of the season for the Yankees against the Rays. They do it in dramatic fashion with this Aaron Judge walk-off home run. And Meredith is with the captain.
All right, Aaron, you're trying to get away from me, but you were the guy that ended this one. When you step up to the plate there in that 9th inning, do you have in your mind you are ending this with one swing of the bat?
Man, what a roar, what a roar. I appreciate y'all staying. I know it's some bad weather, but yeah, just trying to, oh my goodness.
Tried to hang in there with you, but I thought I'd let you have that one by yourself. Hey, just, you know, it's been a kind of weird day here with all the rain, but I'm assuming that still feels good knowing what it means.
Always. This day was made for a Yankee. You know, it's bad weather. You know, going up against a tough pitching staff, and, you know, the boys stayed locked in, you know, especially with the energy out of this crowd. I know y'all probably didn't want to be here, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
How would you describe what it feels like to walk it off here at Yankee Stadium, your 4th career walk-off home run?
There's nothing better. You know, I've been trying to get something going here. You know, the guys in front of me have been having great at-bats, getting on base. So, you know, sometimes you got to step with the plate and finish it.
You had a single there in the 1st inning. Obviously, the meaningful one there in the 9th. Just what clicked for you in that at-bat? What were you looking for?
Just get something out over the heart of the plate and don't try to do too much. So, Grisham worked a great at-bat in front of me and kept my job simple.
It has been a grind for this team as of late. What can a win like this do for you guys to help carry some momentum?
We love the grind. That's what it's about. You know, we love playing baseball. We love coming out here, showing up for the fans. I know it hasn't been what they've expected, but we're going to keep bringing it home for them every single night. So let's go.
What do you think of the job that Ryan Weathers did, keeping you guys in it, putting up zeros?
Weathers is the man. You know, he's a dog on the mound. He was attacking that lineup up and down. And like I said, it was a fun game right here, man. All the fans out here, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Aaron, appreciate the time. Congratulations. Send it back up to you, Ryan.
Hi, Meredith. The captain in his court. The fans rise and depart with smiles on their faces thanks to his 4th career walk-off. Yankees win it 2-0. Let's take a look at the Chevy player of the game.
Well, Ryan Weathers has been good all year, but he was great today. 7 shutout innings, 4 strikeouts, only gave up 4 hits. Give the Yankees an opportunity for a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth.
And how about the game-changing drive of the game brought to you by Audi and the all-new Audi Q3?
Well, we knew it was coming. Aaron Judge is 17th of the year. He just waited to the bottom of the ninth. We can send home everybody happy for the holiday. Nice job, Aaron Judge.
Take a look at the totals. 0-7-0 for the Rays, 2-7-0 for the Yanks. Just 2 hours and 12 minutes. Delightful. Tim Hill the win. Shortest game of the year for the Yankees, and it ends with an Aaron Judge walk-off home run, the 4th of his career. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Justin Shackle and Jack Curry. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and our executive producer is Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again on Tuesday as the Yankees head to Kauffman Stadium to face the Royals. Coverage begins at 5:30 on Yes, with first pitch coming shortly after 7:30. Once again, the final score, the Yankees 2 and the Rays 0. For Paul O'Neill and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Ryan Rucco. Time to go to Justin Shackle and Jack Curry, who are standing by with the post-game show. Fellas,